Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have another 4v4 with you, for you guys on the Western Front. Let's see what we have. We have Shadow Skyer playing as US... Well, he's not picked the command yet, but United States. We have BH18 playing as United States Armor Company. Ooh. We have Senek playing as US Airborne. And we have Pi playing as US without having picked the commander yet either. On the Axis side, we have Fortune Blues playing as Wehrmacht Fallschirmjäger-Division, der Luftwaffe. We have Theo as the SS Propaganda, Frosty as SS Fallschirmjäger, not a Fallschirm, Wehrmacht Fallschirmjäger, so double Luftwaffe. And Shadow Ichi as Wehrmacht Infanterie. Oh, that's gonna mean not a lot of heavy tanks later on. Only really the Tiger Rays from Propaganda if they can survive that long. Looks like Shadow has gone for Ranger now, and nothing from Pi yet. This should be interesting. We're fighting an industrial complex on Essen, so Essen Steelworks. So this is somewhere in Germany at the late stage of the war. German industrial city. Probably not Essen though. It could be anywhere, really. But the Americans are moving into this place to secure it, and the Germans and the Volkssturm are gonna try. The Volkssturm and the Wehrmacht are gonna try and halt them with a few SS support for the Volkssturm. But mostly it seems to be a lot of Luftwaffe troops that's gonna be holding this place. Might be an airfield or a Luftwaffe base nearby. But it might just be all Germany has left. They do have an elite infantry division though, to try and hold the northern part of the place. Now that's Pi got something. Yes, he went for US mechanized. We also have the 101st Airborne present. That's gonna be very fun. The Airborne is a really fun commander to play in my own opinion. Oh, that's a lot of re-echelon. That's a lot of carbines in this close environment. Cutting through the Germans here. But if the Storm... Oh, not Pioneer. Storm Pioneer, it's just normal Pioneer's gonna flank. Oh, but the carbines are gonna make them win this engagement. Also some medics coming out for Shadow here to keep his people alive. But the Volkssturm and the Totenkopf are coming in to try and help in the area. America's holding the center, like it's almost scrapyard by the looks of it. Americans are holding this area up too. But Germans are slowly stabilizing with an MG08 coming in. Some Luftwaffe Grenadiers on the fields.
Medical supplies on your command.
Or Pioneers, these ones are from the Infanterie Regiment, Infanterie Division, I mean. Ugh. I suck at talking today, evidently. I apologize. Airborne assault team, not assault team, fire team here. Trying to help on the northern side. And some 101st Airborne Riflemen, huh. Usually I just go for normal airborne troops and not any riflemen if I play US Airborne, but that's just my own decision. That's a lot of rear echelons in the clump. No rifleman either. He might be going straight for Rangers, and he's really just using the rear echelon as a stopgap. That's not really that kind to the rear echelon. They are just clerks and cooks and everything else and armies to function. That's a lot of carbines though. That Volksgrenadier squad has to get out of there.
Medical supplies are ready to arrive by air. G43 rifles. We have lost a squad.
Now there's Totenkopf nearby though. Throwing a fragmentation sleep grenade. That causes a lot more damage. We have a Fallschirmjäger Stabswebel on the field. The Grenadiers are getting too close here. Oh, that's deadly.
Our brave infantry is dying.
But these guys have LMGs. It's gonna make them a lot more lethal. Like machine guns are gonna be the thing that breaks the re-echelons. Airborne and the mechanized are working together though by the looks of it. Vertical being set up to cover the center here. MG8 covering the side from there, and an MG34 coming up for the SS. Oh, are those mines? Yes, those are mines. S-minen, Spine-minen. That should make this area a lot harder for the Americans to move through. Perhaps we'll set up a field beacon by looks of it. But it looks like that the Wehrmacht, the infantry division, is going to have to hold the northern front on their own so far. The Volksgrenadiers have been armed with STGs though, which makes them a lot more lethal. And the BS are moving into LMG fire. And that's a fragmentation grenade. Oh, that's deadly. And that's an MG coming inside that building. If it's pointed that way, the rear spans are not going to be able to do much at all.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
Oh, you're not looking too good here. Yeah, but you should probably not be building that out in the open like that. Especially not against Volksgrenadiers with STGs.
Paratroopers standing by for air assault missions.
More Volksgrenadiers are coming in, probably also to be armed with STGs when they can afford to do it. Oh, we also have some Fallschirmjäger pioneers now in the field. 221 on the field, becoming a 222. Truck coming up here, another 221. Fallschirmjäger Leutnant on the field too. Fallschirmjäger MG42 as well. Looks like they're focusing a lot on the steelworks, while the infantry division has to do all the front line up here on their own. I don't know if they got that planned or are coordinating that. Infantry is one of the better commanders for Wehrmacht by far, because just all your units arrive with veterancy, especially your infantry units, which can give you a little bit of a good edge early on. Yeah, I don't think Shadow's plan of using the rear echelons is working out that well for him. He is also fighting a lot of enemies in the town, in all honesty. I wonder, is it actually because he is a Luftwaffe that the Volksgrenadiers can be armed with the LMG 42? 34, I mean. That actually suddenly turns the Volksgrenadiers into a defensive unit. Which is not something the Volksgrenadiers usually are. They're usually assault infantry. Because they're usually geared more for automatic weaponry than normal Grenadiers are. Oh, the airborne tried to airdrop behind the line? Well, they might actually get out of there alive though, but that was probably not the best move.
Camouflage can now be used to ambush the enemy.
Double 222 though, that is dangerous. But he is getting a Stuart. Triple 222! Wow, that's a lot of light vehicles. American positions are in the best area here. Being flanked from that building. Triple 222s, but there is a Stuart now. He just needs to not get too close to the German infantry. But the BS1 can support the Stuart pretty well. But all the LMGs could be a threat still. Oh, that's the German Air Force. He's going very heavy with the Luftwaffe there. Oh, great assault there from the Stuart Pioneers. Also some veterans coming in. Looks like the Germans are doing pretty well here. The man Stuart coming out for BH because he's playing as tank commander. So all his commanders can actually arrive in vehicles, which is a really handy bonus to have. Looks like the infantry division is trying to make a push here with their Sturmgewehrs. Right into a pineapple. Oh, that's death. Yeah, one with a recoilless rifle running around. The man Stuart is trying to fight the veterans here. That should be easy enough unless the veterans move out like that. Might try and get close enough for... He actually managed to do it. So not bad at all. Germans are pushing through the center now.
We just got a field promotion.
Let's take it to. We got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
It's gonna be very hard to push the Stewart into this. The Wehrmacht is firmly entrenched inside these steelworks here. Even have a Fallschirmjäger Feuertruppe now. We're pushing up into the junkyard. The infantry division is still just keeping the Americans distracted up here. And an infantry lieutenant has showed up, who serves as a combat unit actually. So that's always a very nice thing to have.
The bunker is now a field hospital.
Oh, that's gonna be a Panzerfaust, let's do it. And the Germans are firmly entrenched in this industrial complex now. It's gonna be very, very hard for the Allies to push them out of it. Oh, fire for effect coming in on the infantry position. And looks like some coming in here, so coming in with a half-track.
We can now deploy a smoke screen to blind
Oh, they
the
mowed
enemy.
down those pioneers quickly. Although they're coming in here, needs to disembark. And they are. Nice to see. Grabbing the German anti-tank rifle, strangely. That's a flamethrower half-track coming in on this flank. Oh, but the recoilless rifle from the airborne saved the front.
Vehicle destroyed. Counterfire! Send orders.
He shouldn't move too close. The enemy does still have Panzerfausts. Unless he didn't upgrade with Panzerfausts. So the infantry division has been pushed off. Ooh, that kind of sucks. Storm Pioneers trying to push up here. But they're moving straight into machine gun fire. But they are throwing grenades in. But the grenades didn't do too much. Germans are dropping in more supplies, more fuel. Looks like Shadow is getting Rangers now. But the Germans are still threatening his position here. They took out the 222 though. Which is gonna buy him a lot more time.
We lost an anti-tank gun.
Knock it off.
A2 coming out for BH by the looks of it.
All right. Here's the thing.
US Mechanized have secured the northern part of the place. The infantry division is pulling back and trying to take up a new front line. And new flamethrower half-track too for Theo. Oh, a flag position has been built here. Very cheeky. Here we have a Ranger Recons team. 5-man, very good elite squad. Problem is, that's going to be very hard to push up on right there. There's even Fallschirmjägers present. But the Americans are trying to flank into the town now, by the looks of it. Puma is dead. But Luftwaffe troops and the SS are holding the Americans at bay.
We've got a captain hitting the field.
Flamethrower attack is moving. They might run straight into Stewarts if they get spotted.
Orders complete.
F1 present for the infantry division, and the infantry lieutenant has been armed with his TGs, making him a pretty good assault infantry. Ah, they're laying mines with the half-track. Very smart move. A Regal mine right there. More Stuarts coming in for the Allies. Sherman's coming out now for the Shadow Sky. They put the Sherman on high explosive. Would help him deal with all this here. Yeah, he's gonna run straight into Fallschirmjägers right now though. But once the Sherman is out with high explosive, it should become a lot easier. Stuart force moving around.
We just lost a unit.
But the infantry division is pushing back into the north.
They've dialed us in!
Oh, light infantry gun destroyed by the Sherman. Stuarts are doing Stuart stuff. Should probably be armed with shrapnel shots if it's going to deal with infantry. Yeah, that anti-tank hand grenade did not do much.
Static post is now in operation.
There are teller mines on the road though, so he needs to be careful where he moves.
Tank ready!
Sherman present here.
Armor ready! Enemy infantry!
Oh, that's lethal right there. Oh, the SS position just got overrun there. Now the Luftwaffe might be in trouble. Because now the American tanks have arrived. We were 10 for the Fallschirmjägers, but it's a little bit too late, I think.
Incoming!
Luftwaffe is still trying. Those two are being very sacrificial, but they did their job. They allowed the Rangers to also start pushing up. Yeah, this refinery is just running up. It's just being destroyed. Oh, it's all getting lit aflame. What are the Germans going to be able to do here to stop them? Oh, this Volksturm might be able to get in a position to a Panzerfaust. Oh, but they got pinned down by the explosive shot. Meanwhile, the northern front is being pushed back by the infantry division, though, who's even stalling the American half-track. But Shermans are coming. They do have a pack supporting their flank. Oh, but they're getting too close to the F1. Oh, this is getting very tight over here.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement. Good to go.
But the German position, I don't think they cannot hold here much longer.
Fucking hit.
The Americans just slowly creeping up.
Ready, set. Punch down the hatches.
Oh, this is a Fallschirmjäger with a Panzerschreck marksman. Very nice to see.
Armor ready. Yeah! Main gun
That Sherman's still alive. Wow. It's not able to do much, but it's alive. There you go. Now it's gone.
We just lost a medium tank.
The infantry division is still stubbornly trying to push into the Americans up here. The Germans are almost encircled though.
One of our emplacements.
And all the Shermans are definitely giving the Americans an advantage.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
You had an A3 coming out here soon for some of the Americans. Another A2 for Shadowbound here.
Set.
Command Sherman present. Oh! Anti-tank squad got killed by a light infantry gun, I think.
Okay, that does it.
By this one, actually. Germans are preparing to do some kind of push in the north if they could, but doesn't look like it might be possible. Yeah, the Germans are going to have to abandon that side of the fight in the front. Oh, a good shot there. And a good shot from the Panzerschreck. Germans are losing more and more of the industrial complex.
A fresh officer has arrived.
Especially after the American armor division started to pour in.
Tank ready. Thinking. Kill those stupid bastards. Upgrade complete. Sherman ready to go.
US airborne are trying to flank.
Orders. Taking fire from Kraut Rocket Team.
US Army Rangers trying to push up now. The infantry gun is trying to be a threat though. But the US Army Rangers is just so good at their job. They're trying to bomb them out though. That's gonna force the Rangers to fall back. Panzer IV coming in for the Germans now. But it's been flanked by the Sherman command tank. Oh, very nice done there. Yeah, German position might not last forever at this point. They had a very good early game. Now the Allies have started to push back in and the Americans' industrial complex is starting to show. So to reinforce those Rangers though, which is not cheap. You have an M10 coming up for the airborne now. The Americans might soon be able to just push towards the infantry space. So German infantry just don't have a lot to stop them. We are seeing a lot of tanks coming out here for one of the Luftwaffe commanders. A little bit of an armored force to try and slow down the Allied advance. So we have some aircraft flying overhead. Giving the Allies some sight on what's going on. Tiger Ace has arrived for the Germans though. This could be very dangerous. Artillery pouring in at the Germans' position. The Tiger Ace might be able to give the Germans some time though. We'll have to see. The SS has lost a lot. They only have a Panzerjäger and the veteran squad, as well as the Tiger Ace. So the Rangers are slowly creeping up through the central railroad, but they're getting destroyed by the light infantry gun. Veterans are holding up in this building. Tiger Ace is moving up the main road. Command Sherman taken out in one shot. What's gonna stop this Tiger Ace here? Is anything gonna stop it? Americans are trying to push the Germans out of the town now. Or the industrial complex, I mean. Tiger Ace has no real threat to it in the center currently. Looks like the Luftwaffe are doing a desperate bombing run. More supplies are being airdropped into the beleaguered German defenders. Tiger Ace is making a move for the central scrapyard. Ooh, destroying the reaction there with a high explosive shot. High explosive incendiary shot, actually. Sherman here is getting outmanned. The Germans are slowly trying to make a comeback here. Well, very good job there with the veterans, but they are taking heavy losses from the artillery. Americans do hold the north pretty well though. But the Germans are trying to build up to do a counter-assault, I believe. It certainly looks that way. And the Tiger Ace is just proving why it's a menace. It's actually relocating to the northern front. We also have a Gauleiter on the present on the fields. This is probably the Nazi provincial governor of this whole place. Hitler's probably ordered him to go out and die fighting to defend his place. The Tiger Ace is there to try and destroy the American tanks though, to buy the Germans some time. Like that. The M10s are moving up into a sector barrage. That's not really the best place to move them. Yeah, the goal line is not the best unit despite having a huge bodyguard. Looks like the goal line himself did survive that little engagement though. The Wehrmacht is still firmly entrenched in the town, or the industrial complex. The Tiger Ace is trying to help the German front line wherever it can, but it can't be everywhere at once. It does move fast though. Taking out that M10 in one shot. What are the Allies gonna do to push the Germans off now? Tiger Ace is just gonna keep proving to be a nuisance. Well, not really a nuisance, actually a threat. But it can only be at one place at a time because the other German commanders don't really get anything heavy. The Tiger Ace is the heaviest vehicle they're gonna get. But it is trying to advance. Probably not something you should do without infantry support though. Which the veterans are nearby. Looks like it's going full on blitzkrieg. It's hunting down that A3. But it's running it straight into an anti-tank gun. Ooh, another penetration. Oh, and it overshot. Ooh, that. Oh, and the engine is busted. The exhaust is damaged. Oh. Now it's straight into a fire for effect territory. That'd be the best place to be in. But it looks like it. Oh, but it killed the veterans. Oh. Not looking good for the Tiger Ace. Germans are slowly pushing up on the American base though now, with the Luftwaffe providing support.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Oh, it looks like this might be over for the Americans if the Germans can just push in.
Combat unit ready for action.
But the bazookas are just destroying them. Not looking good at all for them. The Tiger Ace. Did they lose the Tiger Ace? No, the Tiger Ace is still there. Looks like the infantry company is trying to push up with its own vehicles. Stuka coming in right there. Oh, good Stuka. They're desperately trying to get that Tiger Ace up and fighting again. Another veteran squad is present.
We are receiving new orders.
Looks like they're gonna keep bombing and providing air coverage on top of the American base, which is gonna make it very hard to defend it. The Luftwaffe are just providing a real threat here. Luftwaffe is pulling everything in here today, aren't they? How are the Americans gonna get out of this, I wonder? Ah, they have an anti-aircraft one. Doesn't seem to be doing one. Oh, it is shooting. There we go. Shut down one of the planes, and shut down the other one.
75mm gun carrier ready.
But the Germans are advancing again in the north thanks to the Tiger Ace. The American position has become a little bit more dangerous to try and hold. This is another fire for effect, and the Germans are just staying in it. Oh, they're moving out. Good to see. Those Hogstorm have a stolen bazooka, but they just didn't want to stay by the looks of it. Now they have a Scot to try and threaten the German position, but there's a Panzer IV-H. Now the half-track is definitely going to help them stave off any other air assaults on their base. Promise the Germans are now advancing really aggressively, now that they have the opportunity to. Oh my god, the airborne tried to airdrop in behind, right in the middle of gunfire. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all.
New unit ready and
So much is happening all along this front line, by the way. It's very hard to keep a track of. I hope you guys understand. More airborne troops present. And more artillery strikes coming in the American positions. Looks like that's actually an airstrike.
here goes.
Oh boy, that looks like it hurt. Tiger Ace is present. But German infantry division, with the help of that Tiger, has managed to secure the northern part again. They can start to reassert some presence. So many aircraft are being shot down today, oh god. More assault artillery coming in here. Betting the Americans positioned. All the Rangers are still present though here, although he has had to get new ones. Oh, very good job with that bazooka right there. The Rangers are really good infantry, but they are very costly. Tiger Ace is operational again. The Americans at the top front are not doing too well. The infantry division has gotten itself a little bit more reasserted, and there's an EC-8 now for the Americans up here. The airborne is trying to flank.
We got a new unit ready and on the field.
The EC-8 is trying to get up on the stew. Good shot. Very good job with the EC-8 there.
Rifle squad ready for action.
You know, the Tiger Ace is making another move. Taking straight for the Americans here in the center. That's Sherman instead. It's not going to be able to get out of there in time. What might? Oh, no, it didn't. Command EC-8 coming out for the mechanized in the north. Germans are really starting to suffer some attrition now, I'd wager. The Tiger Ace is just keeping the Americans at bay here. Heavy artillery shots coming down here. Very heavy. I almost hit their own line there. Germans keep airdropping in more munitions to work with, which is how they're going to be able to keep their airstrikes going. Northern front is still held firm by some SS troops and the infantry division. We even have a Hauptmann, I think. But that's the crew of the command tank that's been left without their tank. The Rangers moving up again, right into Fallschirmjäger fire. See, the Fallschirmjägers are gonna cut them down out in the open, because they're really good shots. Especially with the Luftwaffe being right nearby too. And Tiger Ace just keeps keeps creeping up with nothing to stop it. So unless the Americans get something heavier, I do not think they can get out of this situation. The main issue is that Tiger Ace there is able to cover so much ground in this area. There might be some kind of a assault artillery going in there. The range is not doing too well, but the assault artillery just hit. Oh, that hurts. It looks like the front line is just being torn apart on all flanks. The Americans just can't get rid of this Tiger Ace right here. A mechanized assault team coming in for the Rangers at the southern front. Northern front looks very chaotic. All the fronts look very chaotic today. Needs to get out of that half track. All stuff like that happens.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
Trying to smoke the Tiger Ace. Very smart. But now there's also a Panzerwerfer present, bombing the American base. Not looking good for the Allies at all. Even got some Luftlander troops now for the infantry. It really is a lot of Luftwaffe personnel present.
The enemy has destroyed an anti-tank gun.
The Tiger Ace just keeps proving to be a menace. I might be getting too close to those bazookas. Oh, good shot with a high explosive incendiary right there.
Prepare for action. Confirm. Orders complete. Prepare to execute.
And the Americans are not doing well at all. Like, they had a few good moments, but now that the axes have stabilized. Now the axes have stabilized, they're just overrunning thanks to the Tiger Ace. Yeah, Tiger Ace has just proven to be a huge menace here. And there they went. Yeah, it was just a complete disaster for the Allies. They did good early on, but the Axis just kind of came back from it. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next one, everyone. Bye-bye.